everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventure, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of a bounty of comics, graphic novels, collectibles, action figures, and all things in between. You'll have to forgive me this week on the adventure. I've been very sick the last couple of days, so it's it may be a rough one. I may not speak too clearly, but I will do my best to explain everything that was great from last week's pull list and my pull list and bounty from this week. As far as last week's pull list is concerned, the three books that really stood out for me, one was Dead Man Logan. Really enjoyed it. Just been a great series so far all around. And then we also had like a taste of the Hawkeye character that I became a fan of from the old Matt Fraction book. Even had Lucky Dog, and there's just a scene with Mysterio, and Mysterio breaks his coffee pot, and it seems silly as I explain it, but if you were to read the book and know the context behind it, it was actually very well written and very fun scene, and a nice throwback to one of my favorite, another one of my favorite series in the past, the Matt Fraction Hawkeye series. Mr. and Mrs. X was very good. Just with the way whole Mojo-verse and everything going on with that, and Mojo trying to really get Rogue to fall in love with somebody else other than Gambit, and spinning the wheel for a different type of genre for a series in order to get Rogue to fall in love with someone else was just, I thought it was fun. I thought it made me laugh, and been a great series so far. And the last book that really stood out for me was The Flash. There was a really good moment with Bruce and Barry investigating a crime, and just hear it like it has like their inner monologues, and it's their mutual admiration for each other's detective skills. Where Barry's thinking, I wonder how Bruce, I'm finally getting to a crime scene with Bruce, and I wonder what his I consider him the greatest detective in the world, and I wonder what that's like. And Bruce kind of, having another admiration for Barry's detective skills. Said, like, I always wondered how Barry did things. I always wondered how his mind worked, differently than mine. And, Bruce would never fully admit that someone's better than him, but it was just very nice. It was cool to kind of see what kind of admiration he had for Barry as an investigator. It was a cool little panel, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys when I get back here with my bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ. Got a really small bounty this week, so let's just jump right to it. The first book here on the pull list this week is Avengers number 15. It's been a good run, but with the upcoming War of Realms story, both Avengers and Thor are kind of like losing some excitement for me, because I'm not really going to be reading the other tie-in books to the War of the Realms story, so, my own fault, but just not something I really feel like buying. I don't really feel like buying an extra book at this time, so while they're still good books, and I encourage anybody to go out and read them, and if you want to read the War of the Realms story and read all the tie-ins, by all means go for it. Just not really something for me. So therefore, my excitement level's not really there as it would be. It's kind of really down here instead normally when my excitement for Jason Aaron's books are very high. But nonetheless, I'm a completionist, and still want the whole run for when this story eventually ends. I can jump right back in with the Avengers. So Avengers by Jason Aaron, number 15. And from there, we go to Uncanny X-Men number 12. This book's gotten a little better. Obviously, I'm still talking about it. I mentioned on previous adventures that if it didn't improve, I probably wouldn't be keeping it on the pull list much longer. But it's still here, and brought back some past characters, and hopefully they keep up the momentum to where I keep on reading it. It's pretty cut and dry. It's that simple. From there, we go to Batman number 65. This is tied in with The Flash. This is part of that 4-part series with Batman and The Flash. And again, I know there's probably a lot of people that if you're not reading both books, you're not on board with this, which I understand that. But I've enjoyed it so far. The Flash was one of my picks earlier in the adventure. And yeah, I've really liked it, and really liked the banter between both Batman and Flash, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I like this storyline. I like what they're doing, and really enjoy both characters. So, yep. This cold's really beginning to take a toll on me. I apologize for not speaking as clearly. It's just not been a pleasant week for the geek here. From there, we go to Nightwing number 57. Pray for the Joker's Daughter. And this is bringing the Joker's Daughter character, which I'm kind of vaguely familiar with. I've seen her and read about her in other Batman family books. But they're bringing her into the world of Nightwing and this kind of Army of Nightwing story. So this might be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really digging I don't dislike it at all. I mean, I'm still reading the book, but I'm not liking the whole Army of Nightwing kind of storyline as much as I would rather just having Dick be Nightwing. And but this is the story they're telling, and hopefully it leads to something good, and hopefully it doesn't just lead to no more Dick Grayson in the DC universe, because it's one of my favorite characters. But nonetheless, Joker's Daughter here in Nightwing 57. And from there, we have Justice League number 18, back to the Legion of Doom-centric episodes, or should I say issues? And it's a Brainiac-centric issue. Yeah, it's Brainiac's a very underrated villain, in my opinion. I really became a fan of Brainiac through the old Superman animated series, and just really enjoyed his character, and I managed to read a Brainiac story. He doesn't really get a lot of love from the comic book community, but I think he's a pretty good villain that could, deserves a little more recognition, and maybe a cool story like this will get some new eyeballs on this character. So, Justice League number 18. And that's it. That is it for the bounty this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give it a like, give it a share. Go like the Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89 for my weekly collection comic of the week that's exclusive to my Facebook page. I have more than just comic books here on this channel. I have wrestling, gaming, all things geek culture. Thank you for bearing with me through the illness on this particular adventure. I hope I'm better for next week's adventure. But other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.